Hey everybody, it's Vanessa with knit-rhapsody, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to do the Invisible Provisional Cast On. This cast on is especially great for when you need to leave your cast on stitches live to be able to work in the opposite direction later. So to see how this is done, just stay tuned. So start by grabbing the tail end of your project yarn and a length of contrasting color waste yarn. And holding both of those yarns together, tie a slip knot, leaving a 6 to 8 inch tail. Keep in mind as you work this cast on that the slip knot will not count as a stitch, but will only serve to anchor the yarns to the needle as you work the cast on. So place the slip knot on the needle tip and draw this slip knot snug, and tuck the tail ends away in your right hand and set it for the cast on as shown, with the waste yarn on your index finger and the working yarn underneath your thumb. This will be a two-step process, and the first step is to take the needle in front of the waste yarn and behind the project yarn to draw up a loop, and then behind the waste yarn and the project yarn and up between to draw up another loop. And as you can see here, the waste yarn will be in front of the project yarn. So down, between, then behind both and up between. And you just repeat these two steps for the number of stitches that you need for your cast on. So when you're ready to start working the first row, you turn your work and make sure your project yarn is coming from under and then over the waste yarn as here. And go ahead and insert your needle as if to knit, and you can see there that's the first stitch. So it's very important that the yarn comes from that direction. And go ahead and knit across the row as you normally would. And when you come to the slip knot, you're just going to drop it here. Now turn the work again, and if this was a stockinette piece, you would just purl across as you normally would. There's no direction for the yarn to come from at this stage. Just work across. Make sure you keep your stitches snug. It's a little fiddly at first. Okay, so now when you turn the work here, you'll be able to see where the waste yarn is holding your live stitches that you'll be able to knit from later. See here, you can just slip the waste yarn right out and put it right onto a needle, and it'll be ready to work from. You can also do this cast on by using a spare circular needle or interchangeable needle cord. And the setup is the same. Just grab your working yarn and create a slip knot, leaving a 6 to 8 inch tail, and place that slip knot by itself on the needle tip. Draw it snug and tuck the tail end away in your right hand. Now if you're using a fixed circular, you can just hold the extra tip away in your right hand as well. And the setup is the same here. So hold the cord over your index finger and bring the needle behind the project yarn, behind the cord and the yarn, and up between. Behind the project yarn, behind both the cord and the project yarn. And again, it's the same steps as if you were to use waste yarn. Now when you finish this cast on, make sure that the cord is in front of the project yarn so that when you turn the work, the project yarn can be coming from under and then over the cord when you've worked the first row, and work in that direction. Then when you're done, you can just use that other needle tip to work in the opposite direction. So that's it for the Invisible Cast On. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please rate and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear your ideas for future video tutorials, and thanks again. See you next time.